Well, what's up, outdoor friends? Today we're taking a look at a Kabar fighting saw. Just kidding. It's a folding wood saw. Kabar has decided to get into the game of folding saws, and we're going to take a look today and see, does Kabar make a better type of folding saw? I'm going to answer that here in just a few moments. And when I saw that they were producing this, I knew I had to get my hands on it right away, because folding saws are really essential to my kit. Regardless if I'm going for a multi-day backpacking trip through the wilds of Wyoming, I'm doing a day of gear testing and doing different types of gear and blades, or just a day hike in general, camping. Now that we full-time RV, I bust that out all the time if we're going to do a wood fire, and use the fire pit and do that type of stuff. It's just, they're so compact, they're very lightweight, and they're usually pretty inexpensive. Now, I've used everything from Coronas to Silkies to Baco, Laplanders, and the Samurai Ichiban, just to name a few of the wood saws I've used over the years. And they all have great capabilities, but for a folding saw to meet a value, to weight, to performance, I've really been pretty partial to the Baco Laplander. It's always performed really well for me, but I wanted to see, does Kabar make something that's better than this and could replace this, because I'm always open to upgrading my system. So right out of the gate, I'm going to point out three things that I really connect with in this design, and then we're going to answer that question, do they make a better folding saw? The first one is that you can manually, without tools, replace or remove the saw blade. So that's really nice. It has this little screw attachment there, and you can easily do that with your hands, hand tighten it, hand loosen it, and swap out saw blades if you needed to. A lot of other brands, you're gonna have to have some sort of a screwdriver, flathead, something like that to get that type of job done. So that makes it very easy to maintain in the field without having a bunch of tools with you. Next up is this really nice pronounced button lock. You gotta press it to open the blade, and then you gotta press it again to close it. But it's very easy to find when you're just working and looking at something else, or if you got gloves on. Some of the other brands that are out there are a little trickier. Sometimes you gotta use two hands really to get that locking mechanism disengaged. So this is a quick, easy disengagement and solid lockup mechanism. And finally, the handle. It has that classic Kabar look to it with those cutouts. It's got a rubberized texture that's very good, very comfortable, and that really nice hook. So you're gonna be able to grab and do a very nice pull cut when you are sawing back and forth with a very large, generous lanyard. That handle is so big, you can see that I can get both hands on even if I had to, or some other folding saws in this size range and price range that we'll talk about in a second just don't offer that. So ergonomically, I like that. The blade is not exposed in any way when it's closed up. Some of the Coronas have that, so that's kind of a downfall of some of those Coronas, and why I always get a little paranoid about like throwing them in my pack, because their teeth are exposed a little bit from the handle. And just give us a little size perspective there. It is the blade, when you look at the actual teeth, it is exactly the same length as the Baco Laplander, but the handle is a little bit shorter on the Baco. I always jacked that up. So that's all the good. Now for the moment of truth. Does Kabar make a better type of folding saw, and can it replace my loved Baco Laplander? And the answer is no. It does not, for two main reasons. And the first is in the handle and overall weight. This guy comes in at 10.5 ounces, where the Baco comes in at 6.5 ounces. So this is a whopping 4 ounces heavier, and starts to put it in the realm of some midweight survival knives or even light hatchets, or it's starting to get into that realm. And that's part of the benefit to pocket, if you will, folding saws and compact folding saws, is that they can have the potential to be very lightweight because of their thin blades and for their polymer handles. But for some reason, this is overbuilt, which maybe for some of you like, but for me, it just weighs the thing down significantly with that extra 4 ounces. So not only is it heavier, therefore less likely for me to carry, but also the blade. I was really surprised. These teeth are pretty aggressive, so I was expecting it to perform well and easily compete with my Baco, but that was not the case. Bahco Laplander easily outperformed this. It seemed to kind of get bogged down on all the different type of dead wood that I used. I did use against a little bit of green stuff, and it did a little bit better with that, but I was surprised that the Bahco the Laplander easily outperformed it when I was going through all the different wood that I would regularly use if I was doing bushcrafting, if I was building a fire, if I needed to build a lean-to and I'm looking for dead wood. That this design and the teeth just really weren't super impressive to me and did not perform like I thought they would. So I would say no, Kabar does not produce a better saw when it comes to the folding saw market. It's very competitive and it just doesn't quite cut it, in my opinion. This is made in China. The Bahco is made in Sweden, and most other folding saws you're going to find are usually made in Japan. So that's just something to consider as well. The Kabar will usually go for about $25. I believe that's what I paid for it. We'll have a bunch of links for you guys below, not only to take a look at this if you are interested for some reason, but I would highly recommend picking up the Bahco Laplander. If you don't have one yet, or maybe you need to throw another one in a kit, it's coming on towards the holidays, maybe you want to gift it to somebody, it's a great gift. I am seeing it crawl up in price a little bit. They've always been like $22 to $25. I'm seeing them closer to $30 now. So if you're thinking about it, it'd be a good time to hop on it before prices maybe go up a little bit with, you know, the way the world is right now and distribution. So appreciate you guys. Thanks again for checking out those hyperlinks. And I just want to thank you for checking us out also on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media, putting up content and behind the scenes stuff there all the time. And I invite you to subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber, and check out the other video popping up. We're throwing up content like this every single week, giving you guys information, data, so you guys can make wise choices on your outdoor gear. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. I'll see you out there.